Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, April 4th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to jump right into the chart of the S&P 500 E-mini futures. It looks like the weekly jobless claim data was just released. Looks like jobless claims jumped 28,000 to 385,000. Now, who knows how true these numbers are, if they're good, they're bad, but that's a big increase, up 28,000 to 385,000 jobs at this stage of the economic cycle. What you will see is that the futures are ticking down a little bit. They were up about 6 points a few minutes ago, now only up about 3 points on the session. So, again, they are still positive, up about 3 points to around the 1551, 1552 level. They are dropping a little bit, as you can see here, but nonetheless, that is not a pretty number. A jump of 28,000 more people filing for unemployment this week. So that is a pretty ugly number at this stage of the cycle. Anyway you slice it or dice it, though, we'll see how this market trades out a little bit later. There are a few things that you should know about going forward. One, the European markets are getting a little bit of a bid today. It looks like Mario Draghi in Europe did keep the benchmark interest rate unchanged. So he did hold interest rates in Europe unchanged. We had a lot of economic data out of Europe. All was, in my opinion, was all pretty negative. I think France's PMI fell to 41.3. That's a 49-month low, and that's probably the second largest country in the Eurozone, or at least of the countries that use the euro currency. And that is not a pretty picture. But for some strange reason, Italy was down big yesterday, and today Italy is getting a big pop, up over 1.3%. So very, very strange, but it is what it is, and that's what happens when you have this money printing going on to these extents. Markets jump, they sell, they jump. They don't really have any consistency to them. Overall, though, markets have trended higher on the back of more money printing. So we'll just have to take it one step at a time. But eventually this game of money printing will come to an end, and it will be an ugly ending. But in the meantime, you want to trade it, and that's really all you want to do. It also looks like England, the Bank of England, kept their key interest rate at 0.5%, so no unchanged level there as well. And we'll just see how this plays out. Mario Draghi will hold a press conference at 8:30 a.m., which is just about to start now, and as it's 8:33 East Coast time. So we'll see what comes out of there and how the market moves. But right now, it looks like the markets will wait on Europe's word. Plus, we did have that little bit of economic news out of the United States here. I do think there is further economic news today, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just looking through my list here. No, maybe there's not. Maybe that is the only economic news for today. Tomorrow, though, will be the big economic news at 8:30 in the morning with the government non-farm payroll report, and that's one that everybody will be watching for. So again, tomorrow's news is going to be the big one, the non-farm payroll report tomorrow. Now, overseas last night in Asia, very important to note, the Nikkei 225 index was up 2.2%. So once again, it's just an almost impossible market to trade or follow. It's up 2%, down 2%, down 3%, up 2%. Again, the Nikkei is still at the highs, so that's the positive for it. The negative is that they're just printing money to get it there. And eventually, anytime somebody prints so much money, it'll ultimately turn negative. But right now, it is still inflating. We're still in that inflation phase. The Nikkei 225 was the big winner last night, up 2.2% on the session. So watch Japanese ADRs today. They could be in play. The big loser last night was the Indian Sensex, which was down nearly 300 points, or 1.55%. So watch the Indian ADRs to be a little bit on the weaker side if the U.S. markets are weak. If the U.S. markets are fine, then I wouldn't expect too much out of the Indian ADRs. Japanese ADRs will likely get a bid, but we'll have to watch these markets. It's all about money printing, bottom line. Unfortunately, that's where we are at this stage. It's just all about money printing and inflation and creating inflation, and that's what it all comes down to. So that's what we have there. Looking at gold this morning, gold is down another $8 to $1,546 an ounce. Gold has sold off for 2 consecutive days. Today would be the 3rd day down. Let's take a look at the GLD this morning. You'll see that that's holding right here at the 149.84 level. It did close at $150.73. So GLD is reflecting a little bit of a dip. But yesterday, remember when spot gold closes at 1:30, the GLD still trades till 4 o'clock. So the GLD is a little bit lower this morning. Let's take a look at oil this morning. Light sweet crude is down about 18 cents. Yesterday, light sweet crude plunged. Right now, it's trading at $94.28. Let's take a look at the USO here, and you'll see the USO is down there at $33.66. It did have a pretty significant decline yesterday. You could take a look here. You can see that big fall yesterday in the USO. So again, it is trading lower. The US dollar index is trading higher. That will have a negative cause oil to go down. But right now the dollar is up 48 cents at the moment to $83.35. Pretty good pop on the dollar today. So in the past, the stronger dollar has been weaker for the negative for the U.S. markets. These days, not so much, because you have every currency in the world printing money. Japan, Europe, England, Australia. Everybody is just printing, diluting the currency. And when people get panicky, investors they come and buy U.S. dollars because they feel that is most stable. Whether it is or it isn't, that's the cause and effect. So that's what you have to watch for. So we'll see how that plays out. There are a few other things that you should note right now. You want to be watching the European financial banks like Deutsche Bank for clues. These are the stocks that are going to tell us a lot going forward. Right now, Deutsche Bank with a pretty good pop higher. You can see it has pulled back a little bit. But if this stock does not hold, or continue to move up or catch a bid, then it is telling us problems are developing in Europe again. Yesterday we had a pretty good decline in Europe, especially in Italy. But Deutsche Bank probably is the most important bank that you want to follow in all of Europe. And there are other banks you could look at as well, such as Banco Santander. That's a pretty important one. UBS. That's a pretty important one. Credit Suisse, also a pretty important one. But in my opinion, Deutsche Bank is the most important one. It's the largest investment bank in Germany. And Germany is the one solvent country at this time in the European Union. If that gives way, then it all gives way. And that's really the bottom line. Let's take a look at the euro this morning. You'll see that the euro is getting crushed right now. Look at the euro just falling sharply. That means that the dollar is surging. And sure enough, we'll take a look at the dollar, and you can see the big surge in the dollar. So euro should head lower. I guess there's some comments coming out from Mario Draghi, but this euro really looks like it's headed down a lot lower, and not a pretty sell-off in this one bar. I mean, that's a big decline on just a 10-minute candle for the euro. So expect lower prices in the euro. It's not going to go straight down like it is here, but it ultimately will continue lower. All right, with that said, everybody, I'm going to leave it there, short and sweet. Have a great trading day, and I'll see everybody on the charts a little bit later. Take care now.